A bomb scare yesterday paralyzed several blocks around Circuit Court for most of the morning on Thursday. And the bomb scare, which came after someone called 911 and said there was a bomb in the area that would go off at noon, led to the evacuation of nearby buildings and the closure of area roads for hours in Honolulu. Acenas reports from the scene.
Honolulu residents woke up Thursday morning to the news that a suspicious package was found within the grounds of the district court here in downtown Honolulu. Authorities immediately cordoned off the area, rerouted traffic, and ordered the immediate evacuation of nearby vicinity. Around 6 a.m. Thursday, 12 a.m. Manila time, the Honolulu Police Department received a call that a bomb will go off at 12 noon. Department of Public Safety personnel discovered a package just outside the court grounds, and a bomb detail proceeded to investigate the package. According to authorities, the package did not appear to have explosive elements, and a water cannon was used to neutralize it. A few hours later, the all-clear was issued and normal operations in the court and nearby establishments resumed. An unnamed source revealed to us that the package referred to was a backpack with a plastic bag inside containing some fertilizer. They are still investigating the motives behind this incident. Honolulu police, however, looked at this situation as training for their preparedness and a check on their responsiveness to similar threats. In the spate of the Boston bombings and the discovery of the rice-laced letters addressed to top U.S. officials, Honolulu authorities are not taking things lightly, and they would rather err on the side of caution for the sake of public safety. From Honolulu, Hawaii, this is Acenas reporting for Eagle News Evening Edition.
A bipartisan bill revamping the U.S. immigration laws has gone to the Senate Judiciary Committee. It was formally rolled out by the group of senators known as the Gang of Eight, and critics have weighed in. Here's Hawaii correspondent back with a report. Des?
One of the major issues that impact Filipinos as well as non-U.S. nationals living and working in the United States is that of immigration. Many attempts by U.S. lawmakers in the past have been met with resistance from various sectors. Recently, however, 4 Democratic senators and 4 Republican senators revealed a comprehensive immigration reform that will hopefully finally solve the issue of undocumented workers. The act is called Border Security, Economic Opportunity, and Immigration Modernization Act of 2013. This is led by a group of senators called the Gang of Eight. They are Republican Senators John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Jeff Flake, Marco Rubio, and Democratic Senators Charles Schumer, Dick Durbin, Robert Menendez, and Michael Bennet. Unlike before, there is general optimism that their efforts will succeed. This legislation is said to contain the toughest border enforcement measures in U.S. history. The law outlines 6 security triggers that must be achieved before the newly legalized are allowed to apply for green cards. The Department of Homeland Security is at the forefront of this measure. These triggers include Border Security Plan, Border Fence Plan, Border Security Metrics, Border Commission, Employment Verification, and exit system to stop visa overstays.
I am convinced this issue will not fall victim to the usual partisan gridlock. And we are mindful that we approach our task at a moment when the public has never been more fed up with Congress. But in a week when disillusionment with politics is being acutely felt, this bipartisan breakthrough offers a degree of hope.
Many agree that undocumented workers benefit the economy of the United States more than it negatively affects it. They work longer hours, are highly skilled, and receive way lower wages and benefits. U.S. residents welcome this promising development.
This immigration reform is very interesting. It's hard to tell if it will benefit us, if it's passed or not, but I see it as a way to provide incentives for immigrants to stay out of crime, to work harder in school, to get a job, and probably even apply for military service. As far as different races as it goes, I don't think it will affect any race more than it will affect another. I think Filipinos, when they come to America, they are already well off in that they're going to school, they're doing good things for themselves. So it shouldn't affect Filipinos too negatively.
With regards to President Obama's new immigration law, I think it's favorable because President Obama gave them a chance, and then United States of America, we all know that it's a land of opportunity, so I think it's good.
I think if Congress gradually tackles each issue, and first of all, trying to get undocumented workers fully credentialized, have them go through the process of getting legal documentation, and I think we can implement a process for the future issues for each of the undocumented workers that we do encounter. And that coincides as well with protection of our border security. And I think the government really needs to devote some funding or some type of assistance for all of the undocumented workers, because it's just an issue that everyone wants to come to America, and we're a land of opportunity, and so much better than just turning them away. We need to really incorporate them into the melting pot of America.
The United States is known for the land of the free. Everyone wants to move here for job opportunity, and it will become difficult. A lot of them have upstanding integrity. They want to come here for a better life, but we have many who use and abuse the system and are faults in the government to come here illegally and dispose bad influences, especially to the youth, to the poor, low income. So whatever happens, it's for the intention of the country. It will set many back, but it's to ensure the safety of many of our citizens and for our future citizens.
I feel like people are not going to like it, but the people pushing for it are really going to push for it, because one of them said they're either going to have this bill or there's going to be all-out fight or something like that. A part of this bill includes banning many types of guns, assault type guns, and there are a lot of Americans that want to keep their gun rights, especially after the shootings.
I believe that it's a good thing, so that as Americans, we don't have to fight for jobs as much due to the competition that is placed when we have illegal immigrants coming in. So we would benefit a lot from it.
11 million people are living and working in the United States who are undocumented. About 300,000 of those are Filipinos. With this act, the dream of becoming a legal resident and ultimately a U.S. citizen is just within reach. From Honolulu, Hawaii, this is Acenas reporting for Eagle News, Evening Edition.
Italian President Giorgio Napolitano has designated a prime minister just 2 days after being officially sworn in for his second term. Now, Napolitano chose Democratic Party member Enrico Letta to head the forthcoming new government. Despite the opposition on the streets, Napolitano does now have the power to form a new government. As Italy correspondent Mya San Vicente reports, that relies on rival parties working together, which until now has proved impossible. Mia.
In a bid to calm down a growing political chaos, Italian lawmakers elected on Saturday President Giorgio Napolitano to his second term, turning to him as the last best hope to end a profound deadlock. However, it also infuriated the anti-establishment five-star movement of Beppe Grillo, which won a quarter of the recent parliamentary vote. Thousands of demonstrators gathered in the streets outside the Italian parliament on Saturday, April 20, after the leader of the populist five-star movement denounced the re-election of President Giorgio Napolitano as a coup d'etat. Napolitano was elected for a second term following a last-minute deal among party chiefs to break the deadlock after 5 previous ballots failed to produce a winner.
Para sa akin lang naman kasi, si Napolitano, kumbaga matanda na, tapos na nahalal ulit siya, ito nga nanalo. Kumbaga parang yung magiging law kasi parang ganun din ulit eh. Tapos kung minsan matanda na kasi pabago-bago ang isip, kaya mas kailangan siguro natin yung mas bata pa. Tungkol naman sa pagiging apektado ng Pinoy, hindi lang Pinoy ang magiging apektado sa gobyerno o kaya sa ekonomiya ng Italia, kundi ang mga ibang estranghero na pumupunta dito kagaya ng mga taga-ibang bansa.
Magulo sapagkat nag-resign na siya tapos muli na naman siyang naihalal bilang presidente. Marami na namang mga pagbabago dahil ngayon pipili na naman siya ng mga ministro na makakasama niya sa pamumuno.
The subject dominated the headlines in Sunday's newspapers, most of them emphasizing the end of the Italian political stalemate. Napolitano again to cope with emergency was the headline of Rome's Messaggero Daily. Others were more critical, including the newspaper Il Fatto Quotidiano, which dubbed the re-election of Napolitano as the perfect crime. Napolitano is expected to try to push for the formation of a broad coalition government in a round of consultations with party chiefs starting this week.
Napolitano, who at the age of 87 years old is already among the world's oldest heads of state, may not serve the 7-year full term. He might resign after the stalemate is solved. 2 months after an inconclusive election in February, Italy is still without a new government, with rivalries between the parties blocking any accord. Reporting from Rome, Italy, this is Mya San Vicente for Eagle News Evening Edition.
Autonomous robots with the power to make decisions about killing human beings are under development. As London correspondent Thirdy Casino reports, human rights campaigners warn that their use raises worrying questions about morality and accountability during war. Thirdy.
The campaign to stop killer robots was officially launched here in London in an urgent move to preemptively ban the use of lethal robotic weapons that can kill without any human intervention. A coalition of concerned groups is pushing for an international treaty to be written before the world sleepwalks towards a dangerous future where wars are fought by so-called killer robots.
In Parliament Square, a friendly robot issued commands to passers-by in a stunt to mark the launch of the campaign, which includes groups like Human Rights Watch, the Noble Women's Initiative, and the International Committee for Robots Arms Control.
Do we really want to delegate the right to take a human life to a machine? Do we?
Over the past 10 years, the use of unmanned armed vehicles or drones has increased dramatically and has changed warfare, posing new humanitarian and legal challenges. The campaign fears that if left unchecked, countries such as the United States, Russia and China will be in an arms race to develop killer robots which would give full combat autonomy to machines.
There has to be discussion about technology that will totally transform war. And when my country wants to call it a bloodless battlefield, I feel enraged. I feel righteous indignation at the twisting of words.
Human Rights Watch says any development that is not able to be held accountable under international law will set back progress made in human rights, such as the Geneva Convention.
It seems to us extremely unlikely that you'd ever have machines that would be able to meet the basic requirements of the laws of war, international humanitarian law. We don't see how they're going to be able to distinguish properly between civilians and military targets.
The campaign predicts the biggest opposition will come from weapons producers who would stand to make a lot of money from new technologies and not national militaries, some of whom have already expressed their concerns.
Now, Alma, no one knows exactly when such machines could be available for use in wars, but the campaign predicts it will happen in the next 2 decades and stresses the need for the world to address the potential problem before it's too late to stop. Reporting from London, England, this is Thirdy Casino, reporting for Eagle News Evening Edition. Back to you, Alma.